Hello everybody, this is Danny and Wanda on our Friday chat, and we decided to go with bringing back the homesteading ways in our society, and thought we would just throw out some of our feelings on this. But start off with, we're really encouraged by the movement we see in our country today about bringing back some of the homesteading ways.
Yeah, I even had one lady mention that things like our family cloths.
Yeah.
She said she knew back in the day when she, many years ago, that was something that you tried to move away from, and now it's coming back. So
Yeah.
It's like a full circle. The old things are becoming new again.
So as we go back and look at the old homesteading ways ourselves, we look at what worked and what did not work, because we definitely, just because something was a homesteading way does not necessarily mean we want to do it. If it wasn't successful back then, it will not be successful now.
Yes.
So we try to focus mainly on things that actually worked back in those days. And that brings up the thought, what is homesteading today, and to who? To me, homesteading takes on many different facets. You've got as many different ways of homesteading as you have people to homestead.
Exactly. Everybody has their own version, and because people are different and their lifestyles are different, whether you live in town, out in the country, in a subdivision,
right,
a large farm, a small farm, whatever, you have different ways of doing things.
But you've got those that are off-grid. You've got people that own large tracts of land and homestead it. You've got people like us that doesn't have a real big place. It's only 10 acres, but who homestead. You've got those that like to do the wood burning and the cooking on the wood stove. You got those who like to container garden. You've got those who like to do raised beds. You've got urban homesteaders. You've got city homesteaders. Permaculture. I mean, there's all different types of homesteading, and no one homesteading, to me, is any greater than the other.
Exactly.
I don't look down on anybody because they do a particular type of homesteading, because it's really all interesting to me. Because say a life-changing event takes place. Now I'm gonna step out on a limb here. Let's say a life-changing event takes place, or they bring us all to the cities, like under Agenda 21. They want to move everybody to the cities and stuff like that. Well, if I got moved to a city right now, because I've never lived in a city for any length of time, then a person who's dwelled in a city all their life and done homesteading in a city, they're up on me. They've got the goods on me, because I don't know what it takes in a city to be a good homesteader. And vice versa. If people from the city got shoved into a rural life, they don't understand living rurally. Or if we get shoved off-grid, a lot of us wouldn't understand if an EMP happened how to survive living off-grid. The off-grid homesteaders would have the hand up on us. So no one homesteading lifestyle is any greater than the other. We're all headed toward the same end goal. We just got different ways of getting there.
And our goal mainly is just to provide for ourselves as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
To learn how to do some of that yourself. Are
Yeah.
you ever going to be 100%?
There's no such thing as being 100% sustainable. I've been doing this for 30 years. Now, granted, I have a syrup mill. I have sugarcane I've planted. I mean, you name it. I could have my own sweetener, but there's no way I can produce salt. The body's got to have salt to exist. I mean, so in my mind, I know there are some things that I just can't produce. I can't produce leather right now. I mean, I could tan some hides, but there again, I got to have alum and salt to do all that. And if I don't have it, I can't do it. So, to me, I mean, that's just one example. There's thousands of others. But to me, for someone to look at you and go, well, I'm 100% sustainable on my homestead, I question that, because in my mind, I believe they go to town for something. And to me, when you say you're 100% sustainable, that means I don't leave my homestead to go anywhere to get anything, because I can do it all right here.
And have to buy things at the grocery store in order to can. We still have to have the salt. We still have to have the lids. and the jars and things. Even though we have a supply now, they had to be bought at
They had
one
to be
point.
bought at some point.
If you're doing pickles and stuff, you have to have the vinegar.
You gotta have the lime.
The lime. You can make some of these things, but to be 100% and make everything.
But these are just some things about homesteading that. But you know, if you're going to be a homesteader, we always mention books. You've got to have good books to be a homesteader. Now, I'm not talking about e-books. I'm talking about something that you can put in your hand, because if a life-changing event takes place and there ain't no electricity, or you can't get to anywhere where there is electricity, and you don't have a paperback book or a hardback book in your hand, you're going to have to go off of memory. And
we had one sub that had a really great idea about, she has a notebook, and she writes down everything that she sees or hears on YouTube or anywhere else. She writes it and puts it in her notebook.
She's making a book herself of things that are interesting to her on her homestead.
So she has hers in hand if there is no internet. It's like
I think that's a wise thing to do. Whatever on your homestead you need, then write it down and make your own homesteading book for what you do.
Yes. You know? Because even here, we can't remember I can't, because I've not been doing it as long, year to year, every step and when to do things. Yeah. And so I'm depending right now on Danny's memory. Well,
one of the first books that I want to throw out there today is one, it's by Mike and Nancy Bubel. It is Root Cellaring. For anybody who wants to know about storing their food. Now, when they say root cellaring, it can be a porch, a garage, it can be a closet, under a bed, under a stairwell,
or it
can be an actual cellar in the ground. This book here, it covers all of that, and it tells you everything about doing any of it. I think it helped me with my cellar. Let me put it that way. In the South down here, it helps me deal with humidity, heat, and all these kind of things to where I can store stuff in my cellar and I actually understand how it works now. So,
and we've had lots of people on the cellar ask questions, so this would be a good book for any of you who are wanting to store in a cellar or underground or just basically wherever.
Wherever you want to put it. This book covers how to store stuff under a bed or how to put it in a closet. It tells you all the details about it. So it's Root Cellaring by Mike and Nancy Bubel. That's one book that I just want to throw out there and say it's really, really good to have on a homestead. Now, secondly, there is a magazine out there. I've subscribed to this magazine probably, I don't know, it's probably 10, 15 years ago. And I've kept up with it for quite some time. There's been a period of time where I didn't get it, but I still have a whole stack of the magazines. And that's Countryside. Now, to me, Countryside is probably one of the best magazines I've come across, other than Mother Earth News. I mean, Mother Earth News is another good one, and the New Pioneer is a good one.
But these magazines, even if you have them and they're 15, 20 years old, they still apply today.
Yes.
Their techniques still work, and so if you get old Countryside magazines, they're just as good as new.
Yeah, and that's why I want to bring. These are two catalogs that are Countryside anthology. This book right here deals with the whole year of 1999. This was right before Y2K. This book tells you how to, it has everything about how to start a farm or homestead, how to equip it, how to operate it, how to enjoy it, and how to find a place in the country. And once you do, it's all about animal husbandry. You look in the front of it here in the index, it comes in different sections. One of them is the homesteading kitchen. It has a whole series of things in this book about, for that year, they talked about for the kitchens. Livestock, you talk about goat, sheep, cattle, pigs, rabbits, poultry. You just name it. Feed, hay, beehives is in here, nature, how to deal with neighbors, homesteading preparation, old-time arts and skills, how to make certain things on the homestead. I bought the 1998 and 99 edition of these. And I'm going to tell you what, I love both of them because they deal with plain down-home homesteading lifestyle. they're just good books. That's all I can say. The 1998 and 99 Journals of Countryside Anthology. These are really, really good books to have. Just, if nothing else, just if it's raining outside and you want something to read and sit down and look at, these are great books for that. I mean, and I've read both of them probably a dozen times each. If you use your thumb through them right here, you'll find, I know you're not supposed to do this, but you'll find there's pages in here that I have the corners turned down on. And this one here deals with how to purify your water in an emergency. This one here is understanding the care of septic systems and all that kind of stuff. It's all in these books, people. They're good books. And this time I'm going to leave it to Wanda. She said she had something else here she wanted to talk to you about.
First off, our Frugal Family food on Friday is, once again, I'm going to say it, Doug and Stacey, off-grid with Doug and Stacey. On my video with the family cloths, I had Mimi's Front Porch send me a message. She is uploading a video on how to make the family cloths. So if you're interested, go back to my video on how to save toilet paper, and I will have in the description Mimi's Front Porch, and try to have the link to her channel with that video up on how to make the family cloths.
Yeah.
And one other thing is, Danny and I are trying to find ways to make money on the homestead. And one of our things here is we have a lot of lighter. In the winter, or even if it's before winter and you want it, he's going to be chopping the little lighter in the packets for 1 pound packets. We're going to be selling that, so if you ever want to message us and there's some of that you want. But also, if you saw my herb garden video, I have lots of lighter laid in there everywhere.
Yard art.
Danny calls it yard art. I don't like yard art, but it'll work. And
that's what it is. It's yard art.
So we're going to be offering special pieces that would ship easily to people for sale.
Yeah.
And we'll get it up and running on how you can see all of them shortly. But first off, we want to just give a piece away to somebody. The 2 pieces that I have picked out, one of them I tell Danny it looks like a skull. That piece, or this is just a nice, just a nice knot, basically, to go in your yard art garden.
Yeah.
So, either piece, you will have your choice, the knot or the skull, as I call them, and they will be what we give away. Yeah. In order for you to be eligible to win this, they have got to do what, Danny?
Go back and look at our videos and list in the videos how many of our videos you find that has lightered yard art in it. And
list what it is.
Yes. Down
below here. In these comments, come back here when you find places. Granted, it's in the herb garden. We know that.
We know it's in the herb garden.
But we have lighter, because I move it around quite often, everywhere in the yard. So if you find it in a video, list the video that you found it in and what it is you found. Yeah. And we will take and choose one person. We'll give you till next Thursday?
Yeah, our next Friday chat.
And we'll announce the winner on our next Friday chat.
Yeah.
And we'll be sending out that. I wanted to show a couple of pieces that we'll be offering for sale.
This is one right here. We call this our J-Nolo. Lighter, both hands up.
J-Nolo.
That's our J-Nolo piece there.
But I mean, for me, it was a cross. Then again, it could be a bird. It looks like a bird with its wings spread. Yeah. So it's according to what you want to call it. If you want to call it J-Nolo, we're good with that. But Danny just liked that analogy.
I just like that analogy.
So that's going to be one piece that's going to be for sale. And a lot of you liked the fact that I had in my herb garden, I had something growing in a hole. This one is one that has the hole all the way through. And so you can put dirt in here and grow plants coming out in your yard. It's an awesome little piece. So those are just a couple. So in order to be eligible for the skull or the knot, you have to go hunt a video that has yard art in it.
Yeah, let's say, you know, it can't be just one video. We need multiple videos because there's actually multiple videos on our site that has lighter yard art in it. So the person who comes up with the most yard art videos is probably going to be the one who wins the right to get one shipped to them free. So just get after it. That's all I can say.
Let's see how many
Let's
yard
see how many
art
you can come up with.
pictures you can find.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it for the day. We appreciate y'all sitting here watching our Friday chat. Say how much we love and appreciate you, and ask that you come back next Friday and sit down and enjoy another chat with us. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.